These monkeys are phenomenal, right? I'll let you into a little secret. Every time it did a good take, it went over to the male monkey and got a cuddle.
Yeah, you heard that right. We're definitely gonna get back to that later on the video, but for now, let's move on. I'm sure you know by now by the countless videos on YouTube of this blockbuster film.
Launch!
Directed by Gareth Edwards, and it was all shot on this camera. Not this exact one that I'm filming on. I mean, he asked, but I had to shoot some YouTube videos, so I couldn't land him. Anyway, he got a few of his own. In fact, he got about
10 camera bodies that we carried with us.
Now, I went to watch the movie in the cinema last week, and let me tell you this. I was thinking about the camera for maybe the first 5 minutes. After that, I got so caught up in the story and the visuals that I forgot all about it. The way he was able to put so much emotion and invoke people's feelings on this was impressive. I mean, it cannot be easy to make you feel compassion for an AI robot. And he did just that.
Gareth has this ability to inject compassion in a sci-fi genre that usually leans on spectacle and danger.
Gareth Edwards, he is a visionary, and these characters are all relatable and you fall in love with them. I thought, oh my God, sign me up, I want to be a part of this.
And let's talk about how he let the shadows black, you know, the dark being really dark, pretty much how you would see in real life, giving this movie all the more realistic feel, despite being a futuristic sci-fi movie.
A scene would just feel a little overlit. I think Alien has the best blacks, like the best shadows of any movie. But actually our LUT was based on that stock. There's this razor's edge where it looks too lit, it looks too perfect. It just looked like we put a light right there and gave them a nice key, and that's not what we wanted.
Kind of reminds me of Batman, you know, the one for Matt Reeves. And this brings us to one of the biggest reasons why he chose the FX3, its low light capabilities.
Well, these cameras do 12,800 ISO, and so they can shoot under moonlight and still see. Suddenly you don't need a million massive lights. You know, just like you have boom operators holding a pole with a microphone, we had a boom operator with the light. And so like we were relighting like in real time. Oh, wow. But normally that stuff would take like half an hour.
Yeah.
And so it just liberated us completely, and I'm never gonna go back, to be honest.
As an FX3 owner, I just gotta say that dual native ISO is just crazy. It opens up so many more opportunities in shooting locations. I mean, you can shoot it on blue hour, under the moonlight, and those sketchy indoor scenes that you know you've been before. I don't know, nightclubs, whatever it is, they feel like you don't have enough light. You just hit that button, change to 12,800, and you're just good to go. It's actually insane. See, Gareth didn't want to use green screen or virtual production to keep the budget small, but not just that. So him and his small crew flew to over 8 countries, shot everything on location, and then overlaid the VFX on it. But I'll let him explain.
Normally what you do is you sit with concept artists and you design the world, and then you show that to the studio and they go, oh my God, that's $300 million. The only way we can do this is you have to shoot in a studio with green screen. So we were like, we don't want to do it that way at all. We want to go into the real world and really shoot this thing. And the only way we could really pull it off was shoot everything as if it was there, and then edit the movie, and then we would design the science fiction on top. And it was like stuff that would have normally taken like a month to do, we were doing in just a couple of days. I feel like...
Before I forget, the fact that they traveled to 8 countries and 80 locations inside Thailand is the next reason why Gareth chose to use the FX3. Its portability.
Some of the locations we were filming at, we would always have a base camp where the trucks were, but like some of our filming locations were sometimes like half a mile away from base camp, was only accessible with a stake bed, pickup truck, or on foot. So we needed like gear that could be carried in like very small vehicles to get to these like remote spots. You're not bringing a techno crane out there, you know, you're not bringing a 20 case camera package out there. Like, no, it's just completely unrealistic. So yeah, all of this stuff opened up like all this location work for us and all of this flexibility and freedom that, yeah, it just made the whole film better.
So the FX3 was just perfect for that. Now, of course they rigged it up. In fact, they had
6 camera rigs that were built at all times simultaneously. We had our handheld gimbal rig, which you can see in a lot of the behind the scenes, Gareth like running around with this custom kind of Frankenstein Ronin RS2 rig. We had a Ronin that lived on a scissor crane. We had a Ronin that lived on a sort of larger techno jib. We had a Ronin that lived on a little Kessler slider dolly. We had an FX3 that lived on a drone the whole time. One of them was a handheld rig without a gimbal. So that was just mounted on the shoulder like a classic DSLR handheld rig like back in the day. And we also had one rig that was just the camera body. No accessories, no anything. It was just like camera body, Ninja recorder on top, and the lens. And you could just pick that up and shoot anytime.
But you know, even with all that, this was still a very minimalistic production when it comes to Hollywood standards. And within those 6 rigs over there, one of them stood out the most and became a talking point on the internet, which is this one over here, where they used the FX3 with a modified RS2 gimbal. They made it into a shoulder rig, and of course then they added the monitor, the follow focus, the transmitter, everything, and I gotta admit, it looks really sick. And of course, after this came out, a lot of YouTubers already recreated on their channels, so I'm gonna link some videos down below if you wanna go watch it and try to recreate it for yourself. But I guess the most important reason why they chose the FX3 is just that it was just good enough, meaning that all the other benefits aside that we just mentioned before, the image quality was comparable to all these other bigger cameras that they normally use on these Hollywood productions. Now, does that mean that everybody that owns an FX3 is going to be able to create something as magnificent as that was? I mean, despite this being a medium budget film on the Hollywood scale, this was still an $86 million production. That is a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we know that the true cause for success of this film was the experience of those involved. You know, the director's vision and approach, backed up by all those awesome, talented crew that he had surrounding him, made the production of this incredible film a reality. So coming back to my question, I guess the answer is yeah. On a smaller scale, I think you could do it. You know, just find a great idea, surround yourself with people that can help you bring it to life, and just start shooting. I'm sure you will end up with something that you're proud of, and the things you learn along the way are going to be invaluable, and you will not regret it. Now, like I promised you at the beginning of the video, let's talk about the monkey business though.
So there's a monkey in this. So basically, like, this monkey is a phenomenal, right? I think it was one of the best actors in the movie. And I'll let you into a little secret. Well, I was like, they showed us a video of how this monkey rehearsing, and it was brilliant. I couldn't figure out how they'd got the monkey to do all this stuff. And then we came to set, and I got the camera. Monkey comes on, and I start noticing in the corner of my eye, there's like another monkey over there, and the monkey that's in the movie is a female monkey. And as soon as it did a good take, its reward was to go over to the male monkey and, let's just say, have a cuddle, right? It was a little bit more than a cuddle, but everyone was like, what's going on? And then suddenly it would finish and come back and do another take. It was like every time it did a good take, it went over to the male monkey and got a cuddle. And it was like, okay, this is an interesting way to get a performance.
That is crazy. Yo, listen, how many cuddles did you think it took for the monkey to get the scene right? That's hilarious. But all jokes aside, let me leave you with this challenge. Watch the creator trailer, pick a frame that you like, and try to recreate it. Even if you don't have an FX3, try it. I want to see it. I'm gonna be doing the same, and I'll post this video whenever it's ready, okay? In addition to that, I'm gonna be posting more videos about the FX3 and how I use the best settings and my run and gun rig, so stay tuned for that. Also, let me know what you think about this film. Have you watched it? Are you going to watch it? And how do you think it's gonna impact the filmmaking industry into how they approach this film and they use the FX3 to do it? And lastly, watch this video next, because I'm sure you're gonna love it. And with that said, thank you all very much for watching. I love you all. Até a próxima.